The method I show in this video is based off of what Erno Rubik used to originally solve the Rubik's Cube when he invented it. There's 3 steps to this process. The first one is to solve all of the corners. The next one is to solve edge pieces on the top and bottom layers. And then the final step is to solve the middle layer. Step 1 has a few different parts. The first part of step 1 is getting all of the white corners solved around the white center. If you haven't messed with a Rubik's Cube and just tried to figure out how to solve it yourself for a while, I highly recommend that you do that. If you're already pretty familiar with the cube and you can at least solve one side, this tutorial is going to be a lot easier to follow. Let's start by getting some corners in place. I'll start by putting this corner here, and then I'll kind of use this one as a guide for all the other ones that I put around it. So here's another corner with red on it. Now those are next to each other. Make sure that the color matches between these two when they're next to each other. Now I have this one put in, and that one as well. This video isn't intended to show everything and every single step of the process. This is a guide so that way you can figure out how to solve the cube mostly by yourself. For the parts that require algorithms, I'm going to go more in depth, but for these corners, you should be able to figure this out if you take enough time just messing around with the cube. Alright, the next step is to solve the yellow corners. The easiest way I've found is if you hold the cube upside down, put one of the unsolved or misoriented corners into this position, and then repeat this sequence of moves. Right prime, up prime. And then just continue repeating that until this gets oriented correctly. Rotate the bottom counterclockwise and continue to do that. R, U, R prime, U prime. Once you've done that enough times, all of these corners on the bottom layer should be oriented correctly, as well as all these on the top layer. However, an issue that you'll run into is that these two corners may still need to be swapped, or you may need to swap corners diagonally. Since I want to do this with as little algorithms as possible, I'm going to teach you a fairly simple one on how to swap these. Alright, to swap these two pieces, the algorithm follows a few simple patterns and shouldn't be too difficult to memorize. At every step, you're only going to be turning either the right side a double turn, or you'll be turning the top. The first thing that you do is orient the cube so that way the two solved corners are next to this hand, and the hand that's turning ones will be turning the two that are going to be swapped. Start with an R2, U, R2, U prime, R2, and then you rotate the entire cube counterclockwise, R2, U prime, R2, U, R2. At this point, the two corners should be swapped, and everything on the top layer should be solved. If you happen to have something where they need to be swapped diagonally, or if it hasn't solved at this point, you may just need to repeat the algorithm again. That gets us to step 2, which is solving the edge pieces. The first part in solving the edge pieces is to solve all of, or just 3 of the white edges on the white side. To do this, try to find a white edge piece that's in this middle layer here. Right now I don't have any, so I can rotate this side, pull this one out, and put it back. Now I have one in a position now where I can actually use it. This piece has to go to this position. If I rotate it over here, I can rotate this side up, like this. This is the slot that it needs to go in. It can move on this slice, and it'll go right into position. For these first 3 edge pieces, it's pretty simple to get them in. As you can see, when I put that in, it kicked this one out of another slot, and now I have white-red, which belongs in here. Rotate this up, pop it in, rotate it down. Already I have another one in place. It looks like the white-orange edge is on the white layer, but it's stuck in between 2 blues. If I rotate this up, I can take it out. Now I can find out where it belongs. Make sure to get everything lined up so when it goes in, it'll go in nice and straight. Now that I only have one blank left, I'm not actually going to put this one in yet, and you'll see why. The next step is to put edges into the top layer. Now that we only have 3 of these in place, we have one open spot that I'll use as a keyhole, and you'll see how that works. Like before, try to find a edge piece, this time yellow edge piece, in the middle layer, and then find where it's supposed to go in the top layer. Here's the yellow red piece. It has to go between the yellow and red corners right here. Place the spot it's supposed to go above the keyhole here. Make sure that the piece you're going to be inserting is out of the way, and then you can rotate this side down. You can slice it in, and then rotate this back up. And since we did all of the rotating in the slice right through this opening here, it's not going to displace any of our solved edges down here. You can continue to do that for the remaining 2 edge pieces necessary for the top layer. So here's the yellow blue. Put this over that hole. Get this out of the way. Now it's in place. Looks like we have 2 more edges to go, but remember we're only going to do 3 of them for now. Since this one's in this layer, I'm just going to do this one. Right. Yellow-green. Here's the yellow-green area. Put that over the slot. Get this out of the way. There we go. Now all those are inserted. In the last part of step 2, you have to put the remaining 2 edge pieces into their correct layers. And you're going to have to do this at the same time. Here's how you do it. In the middle slice, you have to get both of these pieces right next to each other. So I'll rotate this one out of the way. And now if I push this up here, we're still lined up with these openings in both of these layers from before. These are both lined up. We can rotate that out of the way, and now bring this back down. Now these are together with each other, and if we kind of follow what we've been doing before, and we put this over here, we can actually rotate both in at the same time. Now both of those are solved, and the entire top layer and bottom layer of the cube solved with them. If you thought that last step seemed too good to be true, you'd be right. There's another case that you can get that's a little bit more messy looking. So if you have this piece and you're trying to line them up and you try to put them together like this, you'll see that when you try to insert it, one is going to be messed up and one of them is going to be solved. That's not allowed during this step. So if you have that happen, take it out again, and you'll have to look and see if you can find another way that you can line them up. When you line them up, you'll always have to make sure that either the white and the yellow are on the same side or they're facing away from each other. If you have one facing you and one facing away, then you're always going to end up with one crooked and one straight. So if we put this over here instead, then we can line them up like that. Now we can insert them. Now everything's solved again. There's one more alternative to this step, and that is that when you put this piece in, so that these 2 are lined up with each other, that they're both facing each other. And when that happens, when you try to insert it, each of these pieces is going to be rotated the wrong way. At this point, this doesn't really matter. At the end of solving, we're going to go back and fix all of the places where this happens. So as long as these are both the same, where they're either both solved or they're both misoriented in here, it doesn't matter. That's going to be something that we fix up at the end of solving. That brings us to our final step in the solving process. And the final step is simply solving the entire middle layer. Now this part seems like it might be more complicated, but it's actually entirely intuitive. Just pick a side of the Rubik's Cube. I'll just choose this one. And then you'll just be rotating it double turns back and forth until you can get everything solved in here. So let's see. I'll rotate it here, slice over maybe 2 spaces. And during this step, you're just rotating this side, slicing the middle, and rotating it back. And just trying to see how many of these things you can get paired up. So go over here and back, and already you can see that I've gotten this entire layer solved. This part is not too difficult, and if you mess with it for long enough, you'll get there. While you're doing it, just make sure that you always stay with the same side over here. If you don't, you might end up rotating here, slicing, rotating here, and then that just messes things up. So as long as you stay on this one side, and then just turning the middle layer, it's not too difficult to get everything solved. While you're trying to solve the middle layer, you might end up finding that the cube gets stuck in a position like this and you just can't get any further. This is what stumped Erno Rubik when he was originally trying to solve the puzzle as well. Thankfully, he discovered the algorithm that can fix this, and it's fairly simple. The entire algorithm is just middle slices and top moves, and you'll always be turning the top counterclockwise. It starts out with slices going from bottom to top. Slice, top, slice, top, slice, top, top. At this point, then you continue the algorithm, but just putting the slices the other direction. Slice, top, slice, top, slice, top. Finally, your cube might end up looking something like this if these two edge pieces didn't go in quite right when you were trying to solve the top and bottom layers. To solve it, just line them up and use the same algorithm that we used with the middle layer. After that, the cube should be solved. The last thing I'll mention is that you might run into this. It's not really obvious at first because it might be oriented this way. Then if you just switch it over, you'll see you just have these two edge pieces that are flipped. You fix these the same way. Line them up and do the algorithm. Thanks for watching. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful. If you're having trouble with learning how to solve it, just make sure to keep trying. This is intended to be a guide so you can solve your cube intuitively, and a lot of solving the cube intuitively is trial and error. So keep experimenting and I'm sure that you'll get it.